I genuinely think that this is the most anticipated video that I've ever filmed in my entire life.
Oh, for God's sake, Niall!
Welcome to my channel if you're new. Hi, my name is Jasmine. This is where I make One Direction videos. But I do have another channel that you can check out in the description if you're interested in seeing me in vlogs and bake with me's and album reactions, all kinds of other stuff. Once again, will be linked in the description. So, this feels really insane for me to be sitting down filming right now because ever since the beginning of April, I've had 500,000 million gajillion people telling me that they can't wait for the April rundown just because right from the beginning of April, there's been so many things happening. You've all been waiting for it for literally a whole month. If you're new to my channel and unfamiliar with the concept of the rundown, basically for about a year now I've been doing a series on my channel where I run down every single thing that happened in a month in the One Direction fandom. When I say everything that happened, I don't mean absolutely everything, but most of the main photos, drama, news, updates, everything that happened in a month, I will run down and tell it to you. So today's video is going to be the rundown for April 2020. Are you strapped in? Are you ready to go? I hope so. Here we go, the April rundown.
It's not about winners or losers, but we won.
So the April rundown starts right off on April 1st with Liam announcing that he has a new single called Midnight coming out with Alesso on April 8th. This feels like such a distant memory that it doesn't even feel like it happened this month, but it did. Liam announced Midnight on April 1st, which kicked off this month in the One Direction fandom. This next update is just kind of a general thing because it happened so many times that I didn't bother to keep track of every single one. But basically for the first 2 weeks in April, Harry did a ton of radio interviews. I promise you this man was on like a radio world tour. It felt like every 2 seconds he was interviewing with a new radio station, talking about quarantine and being in LA and eating bread, just the same things over and over again. I will have every single one of them linked below if you missed any of them or think you missed any of them. I'll have them linked below. On April 3rd, unfortunately, Niall officially announced that the entirety of the Nice to Meet You tour was being cancelled.
The statement reads, "Given the unprecedented circumstances, I've decided to not move forward with the Nice to Meet You World Tour this year. This was a difficult decision, but the well-being of my fans and touring family is always my top priority. Not being able to tour for what was effectively most of 2020 just doesn't feel right, and I'm so sorry to all you amazing people who bought tickets. I look forward to being able to bring new music and a new tour for all of my fans around the world in 2021. I want to announce new dates soon, but I don't think it's fair on you guys to do so until the dust has settled and things have gone back to normal. For now, all tickets and purchase will be refunded."
Harry and Louis have had legs of their tours like postponed and stuff, so it wasn't really a surprise when Niall did it, but the thing about it was that Niall didn't postpone his tour. It was just straight up canceled. He made sure to include that he hopes to get on a brand new tour next year when all the coronavirus stuff has died down. Such unfortunate news. I know it's still incredibly hard to deal with the news of everything being canceled and stuff. I kind of talked about this in the last rundown. Still the same thing happening. It's okay to be upset, but it's also very understandable that Niall had to cancel his tour. The safety of himself and all his fans always comes first and is so important. Also on April 3rd, Liam releases a YouTube video where he reacts to old One Direction memories. I talked about this a lot in my One Direction reunion update, but if you missed the video, I will have it linked down below as always if you want to go check it out. This is the video that kind of single-handedly made the fandom spiral into like a One Direction speculation breakdown, so I can't believe that all happened this month. Like, it feels like forever ago, but that happened on the 3rd. Also on April 3rd, we get pictures of Harry riding around LA on his motorcycle, which wouldn't be too much of a deal, but the fact about it is that he was also seen with Kendall Jenner on this day. Harry was on his motorcycle and then Kendall was riding like next to him in a car. I don't really know much about this situation. I don't even know if this man is Kendall's boyfriend or a rumored boyfriend, but he was there, this man that I genuinely don't know, I'm sorry. But yeah, she was just riding around LA with Harry in the middle of this pandemic, which is the randomest thing ever. A lot of news outlets ended up covering the story of Harry being seen out in LA with Kendall. A lot of people have a theory that Harry was out seen in LA with Kendall in order to promote the new season of Keeping Up with the Kardashians, because coincidentally around the exact same time that those photos dropped, there was a new season of Keeping Up with the Kardashians airing. So a lot of people think that they were using Harry and Kendall to kind of get people talking about her again, to make people want to watch the show. Also around the same time that we were trying to get Adore You to #1. So that was also going around the same time as the Hendel photos. So a lot of people think that they were using each other as promo. They're seen out in LA together. Oh, Harry will get his name out there to get Adore You up there, and Kendall will get her name out there to promote Keeping Up with the Kardashians. That's all just theory. Don't shoot the messenger. I always say this when I report on things that happen. That's just what fans think what was going on. Some other people don't think that's true, and they just genuinely think that Harry and Kendall were hanging out because they're in quarantine in the same city or whatever. That's another thing that people think. Honestly, I have no idea. The following day, April 4th, is when Mark Tomlinson posted 2 videos of Harry on his Instagram story. They were both TikToks of Harry. This is another thing that I covered in my One Direction reunion updates. So that was very odd. A lot of people were very confused as to why he posted it. I mean, I love those videos. It was a great TikTok, but what? But then even weirder, a little bit later, Phoebe ended up posting an Instagram story of her watching This Is Us. And her story, she had 2 different clips. I think one of them was them performing Little Things, and then there was another clip of them performing Up on the like thingy. I don't even know what it is, like that thing that hung in the sky during the Take Me Home tour. That was the other clip that she posted. I honestly think that the Tomlinsons were just having some kind of One Direction day, because Mark was posting TikToks about Harry and also Louis. He ended up posting TikToks about Louis later, and then it seemed that Phoebe and Daisy were watching This Is Us, and maybe even their whole family was watching This Is Us. So maybe they were just having a One Direction breakdown, but to this day, I don't know why that happened. There's so many things that happened like so close together that just make my brain so confused. I talked all about all of this stuff in my One Direction reunion updates. Once again, if you haven't seen it, you can go check it out after you're finished with this video if you want more detail about all the things that were happening. The following day on April 5th is when Harry did his radio interview with Total Access UK. This is one of the many radio interviews that I was talking about that Harry went on, but I wanted to talk about this one in particular because something happened in it that a lot of people still to this day are buzzing about. The interview was very short actually, but there was at one point in the interview where a dog started barking in the background of wherever Harry was at the time or is, and the dog was barking in a way that made it blatantly obvious that it was inside of his house. The dog barked and it bounced off the walls and it was like echoing around his place.
People a lot, really.
Nice. I think that's
What
what
about
you can
you?
do.
How are you doing with it?
I'm alright. Oh, what's
Yeah.
that? Have you got a
a
wild
dog.
animal in your house?
It's a dog, yeah.
It's a coyote, Harry, run.
I don't know where it came from.
It's not even yours.
It doesn't live here.
Now, I'm not the type of person who like tries to read super deep into every single thing that happens, but the dog thing just still to this day, I think the point that people were really trying to make is that it's not suspicious that there's a dog with Harry. That's fine. Who knows whose dog it is, right? It could be anyone's dog, like where he is. The thing that makes it suspicious is that he tried to play it off like he has no idea where the dog came from or whose it is. Like, it would have been perfectly normal if he would have just been like, oh yeah, that's so-and-so's dog, or oh yeah, that's a dog, like, yeah, it's here. But instead, he tried to be like, oh, I don't know where it came from. Like, what? Then where did it come from? Like, he incriminated himself. He made himself look suspicious by saying, oh, I don't know where that dog came from. It was just really weird. Like, he really could have just been like, oh yeah, there's a dog. Why did he have to make it into a big thing? You know what I'm saying? I don't know. A little bit after the whole dog incident, there was like a bunch of different people like posting stories with dogs that Harry could have possibly been with, and people were really confused. The whole dog thing was just... On April 7th, Sign of the Times turned 3 years old. It was the anniversary of when Harry first dropped it, which was kind of a big deal because obviously Sign of the Times is Harry's first ever solo single, so it was the one song that kind of launched him into his solo career after leaving One Direction and being done with that, you know what I'm saying? Everybody was really happy to celebrate the anniversary of such a glorious song. On April 7th, Harry's team released new merch in support of World Health Day. 100% of the profits that were made off of this merch were donated to the COVID-19 Solidarity Response Fund. I don't know much about this merch, I just know that it was in support of World Health Day and that it was being used as a good thing, like the profits that were made off of it were being sent to help with COVID-19, so that was pretty cool. On April 8th, Liam's song Midnight with Alesso was released, and it's a banger. I definitely think that it's my #1 Liam Payne song of all time ever, because it's so good and I love it. The cool thing about Midnight also is that it was done completely in quarantine. Like, Liam and Alesso were in 2 completely different places when they created the song and video and stuff. It was literally a quarantine song, and I think that's even cooler because they did so well on it, even though they weren't even together to do it. So also on April 8th, Niall went on Beats One, the Apple Music special, with Zayn to do a similar interview that Harry did. I think it was last month. Yeah, last month Harry did the same Beats One interview, but this time Niall did it where he kind of goes on and talks to Zayn and also shares like songs that he likes and like to build a playlist for listeners while we're all in quarantine. It was really cool that Niall did it because we got to see Harry do it, and now Niall did it. There's a whole playlist of the songs that he recommended if you want to check it out, and I'll also have the video linked if you didn't get to see that. Also on April 8th, Liam went on Instagram Live with Alesso to answer a bunch of fan questions about the song and the process of making it, which was really nice that people got to see his face and hear from him after his song came out. April 9th is kind of when shit hit the fan and everybody went crazy, because April 9th is when Liam very first did an interview and spilled all about how One Direction is having an anniversary reunion, whatever you want to call it.
He said, quote, "We've got a 10-year anniversary coming up, so we've all been speaking together a lot over the last few weeks, which has been really nice. To hear a lot of people's voices and seeing old content and different things that we haven't seen for a long time or never seen before, it's very interesting. At the moment, I'm not sure what I'm allowed to say. There's a number of different things that we are all working on to try and make things happen, and people are forwarding emails around. But more than anything, it's just been a real good time to connect together again."
Hashtag One Direction 2020 trended #1 worldwide for hours on end. This entire day, One Direction 2020 was the top trend in the entire world. It was crazy. It was so crazy. And I just think it's so incredible that the fandom still has that much power and sway over the world, that we can make One Direction trend #1 in the entire world just for a whole day. April 11th is the day that Liam posted a story on Instagram, and it was a screenshot of him FaceTiming Niall and talking about how him and Niall were on FaceTime together, and the fact that they were even FaceTiming was just so amazing and so heartwarming. On April 12th, there's a rumor that went around that One Direction was trying to redo a bit of their page. The only thing that I saw that I can confirm is that One Direction, the Twitter account, did seem to change their header. I don't know how I'm going to explain this, but their header was originally super zoomed in and kind of cut off at this side. But then all of a sudden they changed it and it was a zoomed out version so that you could see the whole picture without it being so close. Basically before, the header was super zoomed in and then they changed it so it wasn't anymore. And that's such a random slight change, but it still happened on April 12th. I don't know why they decided to zoom the header out. I don't know if they just did that to make people freak out and stir things up or what, but they changed their headers. So also on April 12th, Liam posted a TikTok about a bunch of things that he's super thankful for, and at the end of the TikTok it showed One Direction in a group hug. Aww. Which made a lot of people really happy that he mentioned them and he was thankful for them and that he talked about them. And that picture especially made a lot of tears fall because that's just this is one of their best group pictures ever. I love that picture. So the fact that Liam chose that to be at the very end of his TikTok, too much. On April 13th, there was a fan-hosted listening party that ended up taking place in the fandom. This listening party was called 1D Concert Online Stay at Home. And it was basically a site where you could go on and press play, and it was playing a bunch of different One Direction songs, solo songs, just anything related to One Direction you could ever think of, it was playing, and everybody, it felt like, in the fandom was tweeting about it, posting about it, listening, joining in, trending the hashtag. Hashtag 1D Concert Online Stay at Home ended up trending #1 worldwide for a little bit that day, for a few hours. So it was another one of those moments where it was kind of crazy how everyone came together to do something and ended up trending #1 for a very long time. So I can't believe this is happening. One Direction is really just here and present in my life, and that's a good feeling. No. What a feeling to be right here. Wish I could be there now. Also on April 13th, later in the night of April 13th, Liam did his appearance on Late Late from Home, which is basically, going on Late Late but not going on Late Late because you can't. And he ended up doing a performance from his house, and during the interview part, he actually talked about the reunion again.
We've been speaking a lot more at the moment. I think we're all feeling that 10-year is a very special moment, especially at the age we are. I'm only 26 and we're 10 years into this, which is amazing. I had a beautiful FaceTime with Niall, who I hadn't spoken to in a long time, and speaking with Louis. It's been really nice. It's a nice moment.
See, that's really not the answer I or any other directioner wanted, but I know it's the only one you can give.
On April 14th, this is really interesting, and I'm so excited that I get to talk about this because I thought it was the coolest thing ever. Basically, there was a bunch of Louis update accounts that came together to come up with this thing called the Walls Olympics in order to get fans to come together and help Louis with his streams. And they did it in such a way that was just so effective, so creative. I loved it. It was a lot of fun. Basically, the Walls Olympics was a series of like streaming games and streaming parties, and the very first one that took place was there was 2 teams split by like where you live. So there was different continents for different teams, and there was team A side, team B side. Each side was assigned like a part of the album, like a chunk of the album. Team A side was the first chunk of the album, and then team B side was the bottom chunk of the album, the Walls album, obviously. And basically the goal was to get as many streams for your side of the album as possible, get your team trending. So like if I was team A side, I would be like hashtag team A side. You could get points by trending it, you could get points by streaming. It was genuinely just like so much fun, and it was such a good competition. I saw people all over Twitter posting like team A side, team B side. There was even like other celebrities and influencers that were posting about team A side and team B side. There was like radio stations, businesses, companies, other celebrities all posting like, oh, hashtag team A side, hashtag team B side. A lot of people ended up getting involved, and it was very, very cool. It was such a good idea. I loved it. Louis got like over 500,000 streams just off of that first round of Walls Olympics games. So it was very effective. It worked. His streams were through the roof, and a lot of fans were having a lot of fun. So on April 15th, there's an audio documentary that showed up on the One Direction YouTube account literally out of nowhere. This audio documentary is from 2014 and showed up on One Direction's YouTube page, like I said, and somebody noticed it and posted like, hey, what is this? And then a bunch of other people found it, and then it was all of a sudden everywhere. I don't know how many people like actually listened to it, or if it was something that we already saw before and it just came back, but it was quite random. On April 17th, Liam did an interview with Bravo TV where he finally confirms that Zayn will not be a part of the One Direction reunion. Which was really hard to hear, and it always really hurts me. Like, I already knew that because I've heard it so many times. I've heard it from Zayn himself years ago, but being reminded, it gets me a lot. So that was kind of disappointing, but at the same time, I completely understand if Zayn doesn't want to be a part of the reunion. He shouldn't have to be. I mean, he obviously left for a reason. If he's better off away, then I want him to stay away if that's what's going to make him the happiest. So, but it still does kind of suck that we're not going to see OT5 again. Take what we can get, ladies. On April 18th, Liam and Zayn, Niall and Zayn. No! What is wrong with me? What is wrong with me? Niall and Liam. Zayn is not a part of this. Why do I keep saying? On April 18th, Niall and Liam both performed at-home concerts as a part of a charity live stream hosted by Global Citizen as a part of Together at Home. We've talked about them before because Niall did a performance with them before last month. On April 20th, 420. Anyways, on April 20th, Niall officially announced that Black and White would be his next single and that the video would be out the following day. That was really exciting news because I personally love the song Black and White. Also on April 20th, Niall and Liam did a live stream together. It was so cute. I was really not expecting it. Niall was already live, and then Liam went and was like commenting on his live, trying to get Niall to notice him, and then he ended up adding him, and they went live together and just had like a bit of a conversation. They went on live and were kind of talking about how they had been like FaceTiming recently. They were talking about like Louis. It felt like comfortable, like they've been friends for years, because obviously they have, but it just still felt the exact same as it did before when they were in a band together, and I love that. I love that they didn't lose their connection with each other. On April 21st, Niall releases the Black and White video. If you haven't seen it, of course, I will have it linked down below, just like everything else that you need will always be down below. On April 23rd, Louis posted an Instagram picture of himself outside with a guitar and some shades on. And this picture was oddly powerful. It got over 1 million likes within just like an hour or so of him posting it. It was crazy. I get it. It's a great picture. It's one of Louis' best Instagram pictures. I love it. It was just a perfectly carried out photo. Like, Louis truly is an Instagram baddie, and I love that for him. On April 24th, Lou Teasdale, the boys' old stylist from back when they were in a band, if you don't know, posted a TikTok kind of looking back on her days traveling the world with One Direction And in the TikTok, she was just basically talking about how her and Lux, her baby daughter, who's not really a baby anymore, how her and Lux traveled the world with One Direction because she did their hair. And she was saying that she hopes that Lux remembers it because she was so small when they did it, but she doesn't want her to forget like all those memories that she had. It was very sweet and very cute. On April 25th, we get new pictures of Zayn and Gigi because Gigi posted them. She was with Zayn on her birthday and posted 2 pictures of him. On April 26th, Liam uploads a YouTube video in which he talks about how he wants to start a new segment on his YouTube channel where he basically every week uploads a video talking about what he did in the week, which was so cute. It was such a good video. It was edited really well. It felt like you were just hanging out with Liam and listening to what he had to say. He's coming for my brand. He's coming to be the best YouTuber. I'm okay with that. I'll move over. You can have my career. Take it. On April 26th, this is very random, but we got new unseen HD pictures of One Direction from photo shoots that they did in 2011. There was lots and lots of unseen photos of One Direction doing photo shoots when they were younger that came out recently. I'm not gonna cry. I'm not gonna cry. Puberty ran over these bitches like a truck. Like, One Direction was just standing there and puberty came for them. Puberty said, zoom, zoom, bitch, get out the way. And they did not get out the way. They got rocked. On April 28th, it's announced that Zayn and Gigi are having a baby. Not only are they having a baby, but Gigi's been pregnant for 5 months already. Love, what? My mouth dropped open. I was like, I couldn't believe it. And then I found out that she's apparently been pregnant already for 5 months. I could not believe it. I still think I can't believe it. Like, it's been a while and my brain is still just like refusing to process this information. Like, Zayn is going to be a father. First of all, I think Zayn is going to be an amazing father. He's shown that he's really, really caring about his family. He does everything for them. Like, he loves and adores his family. And he's so good around kids. So the fact that he's having his own kid makes me... Imagine him having a little girl. But second of all, imagine having parents that are Zayn Malik and Gigi Hadid. Like imagine Zayn and Gigi being your mom and dad. That kid is not even born yet and it's already more flawless and gorgeous and talented and has a better career than I ever will. So there you have it. Those are all of your news and updates for April 2020. I know this month has been absolutely insane. Like, pure insanity. Like, if you open up a dictionary and look up the word insanity, it should be April 2020 in the One Direction fandom because so much stuff has been happening. There's also some honorable mentions in this video that I didn't quite put a date to, but there's the whole Louis telling Liam off for constantly talking about the One Direction reunion and how he's gonna egg his house. At one point, Liam even said that he doesn't know if there's gonna be a reunion, but I definitely think that was just damage control. I don't know what is in store for us in May. It's my birthday month, but I don't know what May has for us. I don't know what June has for us, the rest of the summer. I'm genuinely terrified because so much stuff keeps happening. Don't forget to check down below in the description and check out my main channel. My social medias are also linked down below in the description if you want to check those out and follow me on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. You can also check the description box for all the links that you need from this video. Any type of video or clip that I mentioned will be linked down below, so you can go check it out for yourself if you missed anything that happened in April. I hope you're all doing immensely well, doing good, drinking water, thriving, you already know. I cannot wait to come back and let you know what's happening in May for the One Direction rundown. But until then, I will see you guys in my next video.